Hello guys, and welcome to this mod spotlight for Mekanism. It's another industrial mod with machines doing stuffs, ultimately to get a better ore production or ingot value. Uh, so to start off, we need the copper, which copper ingot, copper ore block. Then we have osmium, which within is a mechanism only. It's a core block or ore from the mod. We have the block, the ingot. Then we have tin, tingot, och, and tin block. There is a few different systems. We have the 5x system you can build. Then you get these copper crystals or crystals. This works with any ore from any mod, mostly. Then we have the 4x system, which gives you shards. And when you purify the crystals, you get one. From this system you get 5 crystals. Then from each crystal you get one of these, then one of these, which will give you copper, dirty copper, which you can purify to copper dust, then smelt to ingots. In this system you get the clump, 3 of them, and then you get dirty, and then you get the copper dust. Then you have the 2x system, which just yields you a double amount. So this is an easy system. There's only one machine necessary for it to work. Then you can have the smelter too, which will smelt the ores for power. The 3x system, a bit more complex. So recipe, from in the purification chamber you get 3 clumps. Let's start from here instead. In the enrichment chamber you get double, or you can take dirty to dust. Works with Tinker's gravel. Then we have the copper clump, which you get in the purification chamber the same way, or from copper shards, which you then can use in the crusher to get dirty, which you then can use in your enrichment chamber to get copper dust. Then we have the shards, which we get in the C injection chamber using hydrogen. I should say in this you need oxygen, which you get from one of the machines I'm going to show you later. And with this you need hydrogen chloride, which is slightly harder to make using chloride and hydrogen. Which you use in taking the electrolytic separator. You take brine, and you get hydrogen and chloride. And finally the crystals is in the chemical crystallizer. You need the chemical washer to get the clean copper slurry, and C dissolution chamber to get the copper slurry with sulfuric acid, which is crafted with sulfur trioxide and water vapor, which makes. So that's the ore, how you do the system. Well, there's a lot more to the systems, which I'm not going to get into, because then we're going to be here like an hour. There's usually 4 tiers to every machine in the mod, with a few exceptions. The metallurgic infuser, which is one of the earliest machines you're going to need to make, it's basically an alloy smelter, which makes all the different mechanism alloys. So we have enriched alloy, which is redstone and iron, which you can use to make a lot of different stuff. I think, yeah, this recipe. This is the 1.6.4 version, and in the 1.7 version you need the osmium in the enrichment chamber, a metallurgic infuser, along with redstone, and then you get the circuits instead. So they changed that. I think that's a better recipe for it, but this works too. Then we have the precision sawmill. I don't think this have an upgrade. Frankly, you don't really need it. If you throw in any kind of wood or log, and you'll get an output. Bookshelves will give you every material for it, instead of just the books when you destroy it by hand. And you get this sawdust, which you can use to make cardboard boxes and paper. I really like this recipe, since it's more like regular paper than the papyrus-ish paper from vanilla. And then we have the abundance of machines, which all have a basic, advanced, and an elite version, which just gives you, it's like, this is a 3x upgrade, so you get 3 machines in the same, just by putting the smelter in with a few other components. So it's a bit more expensive, but frankly it takes less space, and you can upgrade it so it uses less upgrades, and then if you have the regular, you can upgrade that too. This I don't know what it is, but it looks like some in and out. You can control it by redstone. By default it's disabled. Then you have a configuration option. So where do you want the input? This is the front, top, side, bottom, and back panels, and you can color code them. And we have the colors here. So green is power, orange, purple is I believe electric out, like empty battery or something. Then we have the red input and blue input. So generally we maybe want the red to get ores in from the top, and at the bottom we want blue. It's the place where we're going to, we don't want it there, we want it here, we want it. So we can turn on auto eject or auto check off. Strict input. It might be that it can import from any side, but if you turn on strict input, it only takes in on the places you've set, so it doesn't get mixed up in the slots. We have a sorting option. So if we take a few of these, and we should only need one there, and it sorts it to maximize the efficiency. Say we don't want it, so we can throw in different kinds, like iron there, copper there, osmium there. Works for every one of them. Maximizes it. The only thing is it's going to start doing this and then continue. And if it doesn't receive, like the Elite Factory have an energy problem, so then it's only going to do the ones it can do. So this one will wait until this is done if there's not enough power to take them all. So it's not going to stagger every one of them. It's just going to take one of them, and the configuration is exactly the same. We have an indication of how much power it uses. So it's using more and more power per, or it's needed, I don't know. We have the enrichment chamber, about the same recipe like the smelter, but it uses enriched alloys instead of the cobblestone. We have the crusher, which crushes ores into 1x or the dirty 2. So like this, you can crush to get down. Like a few of them we need to make other alloys and stuff. We can get flour from applied. And nether quartz chisel too, so it's a conversion system with these. We have the osmium compressor, which basically also is also an alloy smelter. So it melts down the ingot to liquid form, then it applies some other like the glowstone or the obsidian ingot. Then we have the combiner, which generally does what it sounds like. Combines dust with cobblestone to make ore. Not really useful, since that's way more than you can get out of the system. But if you need ores for something, you don't need to go and find them. Or if you have like the thermal system and you need the shiny ingots, which in 1.7 you can get really easy, and since there is an shiny ore. But in the 1.6 version you can only get the shiny to make the enderium block from polarizing ferrous. Then it's quite useful. Then we have the purification chamber, which purifies just different kinds of ores. We can get here. We can get flint from gravel and oxygen. And the smelter. So I put up 2 of them. I don't think this should be the smeltery, or this shouldn't. I think there should be one more machine, but I've mixed them up. I'm sorry about that. And of course we need the power cables. These are quite good. And we have 3 tiers. Oops. We have the basic, which is the cheapest, using steel. Then we have the advanced, using the previous and some enriched alloys. And then we have the elite, which also uses the basic and control circuits. So in this mod it's quite expensive to do the advanced rather than this one, since it's just using 4 extra redstone per cable, and redstone is quite abundant. We have the pressurized tube, which is just used to transfer pressurized gases like like oxygen or hydrogen. And here we have the batteries. We we have the advanced, the ultimate. It stores 128 MJ, 8 MJ, 2 MJ, and 32 MJ. So 8, 32, 2, 8, 32, 128. So it's 4 times by each level. And we have the symbol coming up brighter and brighter for each power level it gets. So you see the cube is barely noticeable here, but if we'll leave it running, it will get clearer and clearer. Even now it's about a lot clearer. We have dynamic glass, which is steel and glass. We have reinforced glowstone, which is the glowstone ingots too. So it's more factory looking than the normal glowstone. And we have the cardboard boxes. I think I'm going to leave this to later. We have the 2 upgrades, which is speed, enriched alloy and osmium, and gold and enriched alloy for the energy upgrade. We have an atomic disassembler, which you can charge using the charging pad. Uses power. It's one of the best tools for digging. And if we have hover over it, I can't remember what button it is. Standard, and I have not changed my own. Mechanism, mode switch, button 4. It should change the mode from normal to fast to vein to disabled to slow, and back to normal, to control the speed and how you dig. So you can dig up entire veins in just one sweep using the power. There it says efficiency 20, so it's using 20 energy per block. It's also a paxel, so you don't need to carry around a shovel. And then we have the diving gear. You need to charge the in here using some kind of system, and this you need both the scuba tank and the gas mask to use this system. And while you use it, like that, now it worked. So, oh well. You while it's active, you don't drown using this. And there's an exploit to the scuba gear that you can just activate it and deactivate it. Since Minecraft, when you have air, you get full air bar, then you can let the air bar go down and reactivate it. And you have full air again. Then we have the free runners and the jetpack. The jetpack you need to charge with hydrogen, since it is burning hydrogen to power you. And the free runners you need to charge using power, either in a charging pad, or you can you just need to stand on it and it gives power, if it has power. That works for the atomic disassembler too. Just stand on it and it gives you power. If you don't have another mod you can also use the battery. To power it. And if we do it like this, no, can fly, but I'm creative, so I can fly anyway. Then we have the robot, which you can program to do certain things. It's a crafting bench, a inventory, so you can take stuff with you or pick up stuff after you. You can smelt, and it's an anvil. So it's quite useful, and it will follow you around if you tell it. You can also change its name. And we have the... Oops. Where can I... Oh, well, we have the balloons that come in almost every kind of color, and they go up like a hydrogen balloon. You just need some string, leather, and the color you want the balloon to be in. You can also use a previous balloon and recolor it. Then we have the digital miner, which you plonk down, power, and you can tell it to start digging and configure how it's what it should dig. You can tell it to dig just ore or red stone or red, then it will dig what you have specified. So if you specify red, it won't dig blue ore or iron ore or anything like that. We have the enriched iron, which is coal plus iron, which you then use to make the steel by adding another coal in it again. So it uses one coal and one iron to make enriched. Then the enriched plus one coal. These different kind give different amounts. So you could add a block and it will give you 9 coal. Then you can smelt 9 ingots. The enriched alloy, I said. We have compressed coal and redstone, which is made in the enrichment chamber. Don't really know how much it will yield using in the process to make steel or something. I can use redstone. We have the bow, which is just an electric bow, so it has an infinite durability, but it uses energy instead, and it has an fire mode, so it fires fire arrows instead. We have a chest. I think I set it to 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. If we set down an electric chest and power it using some kind of battery, I think power cables could work too, but using a battery is way safer since it's inside. We can set it to different modes, so locked or unlocked. In the unlocked mode, you can just open it. In the locked mode, you need to enter the password, which you can set a new one if we want to, but I'm not going to do that. When you put it down, it asks you to put in a password too. We have the electric pump, which does exactly what it says. When you give it power, it will pump out fluids. And it takes the block underneath it and a lot of blocks around it, as long as the chunk is loaded. We have the steel. We have steel dust, which you get after you make the and then you can smelt it to ingots, which you can make to steel block. We have the refined glowstone and the glowstone. We have bronze. We have diamond dust and obsidian, dirty obsidian, and the obsidian ingot, which is the pulverized obsidian, dirty obsidian, obsidian dust with a diamond, which you then use in the atomic disassembler recipe. The mod also comes with obsidian TNT. As far as I know, it's no different to TNT, other than it's a bit more powerful. This is using one, so if we set off another, it should be an even bigger hole. Quite powerful. And then we have the, turn on this, we can go over to this mode, and we have a chest with a lot of treasures. And if we take a cardboard box and right click, it does this, then we can pick it up and move it. We should be able to, yeah, there. Shift right click. Oops. And it's inventory, useful when moving around, hence probably the cardboard box. We can also use it as an silk touch. Move. Put it over here. So if we took out a diamond and put it down using a cardboard box, we could by hand move it. So it's kind of a silk touch. The only problem is if we have two if we have two diamonds and we break them, they shouldn't stack. So that's a problem. And I think that's about it for the 1.6.4 version of Mekanism. Like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye!